I'm TheJoaquiGamer of KGC Esports, and joining me today is Coach Zyki, the coach of 6045 Pirates, here to talk about his and the team's experience being the second representative team of the Philippines for the recent VCT Southeast Asia 2 Challengers Finals, the fight for a seat to Iceland. So, hello, Coach.
Oh, hello. Good evening.
So, exciting naman yung games, pero it's sad to see you guys get eliminated in the lower brackets. But first time nyo, diba, for a major regional event?
Yes po. Actually, we didn't expect to reach that far.
And I think the team has shown naman that Pirates is a top tier team, because you guys didn't just face like random teams. You battled against the top teams of each Southeast Asia country.
Yes
So
po.
how did you guys prepare? Did you guys try to be more flexible because there are too many teams, or did you research at least the people you're facing on your brackets to find out their habits, their tactics, and then did you plan specifically against for a team?
Basically, before we qualified for Philippine qualifiers, we didn't really research about our enemies. But when we qualified for the Philippine qualifiers, we had to study the VODs of our upcoming enemies, such as Ashura, Alpha Esports. Then, when we qualified in for the C qualifiers, which was really a really great blessing for us, we had to double time on studying, even though we had limited time for it. So we had to double time our studying of our enemies, like watching their VODs and like make some last minute scrims against top teams of Asia as well, so that we could adapt to their playstyle.
So you said something about scrims. Did you guys scrim against, as in you guys scrimmed against Thai teams, Singaporean teams, and the like, or
Actually,
PH teams lang?
before, actually we just scrims PH team, and mostly is not unknown, like not really known teams pa. But now it's like a blessing in disguise that teams that are known, like top teams, are contacting us for scrims. Actually, before we started the C qualifiers, we had the chance to scrim with Paper X and Cerberus, the VCT qualifiers as well of Thailand and Indo. I don't know. I know Vietnam. Cerberus is from Vietnam. Yeah.
So at least
So
you got to experience beforehand na a bit of their playstyle naman.
yes, actually, we were scared at first when like we were scared on how, like, we didn't know what to do before we got the chance to scream with them. When we had a chance to scream with them, the results were great. So like we told ourselves nga, like kaya pala sila, like how, like, yeah, we have the strength to win. So yeah, it gave us the courage to
I
win.
think strong din yung entrance niyo, because you guys were the second seed. You still had to do an initial first game before you actually made it into the upper bracket. So I think strong showing naman kayo. You had 2-0 games. So everyone was super hopeful for the Philippine representatives, because if I recall, Bren also got a strong 2-0 in the first game. So it didn't feel like, well, at least as a viewer, for me, it didn't feel like you guys were scared or nervous about facing these top teams.
Actually, we were really confident that we would reach the finals if we just had the time to study the strats of X10, the VODs of X10. Unfortunately, we had to play a best of 3 map top 5 team of C, which is NXL, and which was also exhausting for our part. So instead of watching the VODs of X10, I just told my players to rest and just be mentally prepared for X10.
Were the because some players after a tournament, usually it's resting or watching the VODs of the opponent. Did some of your players actually grind rank after the tournament, or did they just go to sleep?
Uh, which time? Like this after that, after we got eliminated.
No, the game after your first game and technically after your second game. So when you
So
guys were still in upper brackets, were you still Were the players still grinding? Were they resting? Were they? As you said, you told them to not watch the VODs na lang of X10 and just rest. But what did the players actually do?
so in our first match against Fear Us, after the game, we went home. We had to, like, everybody had to watch. I told my players specifically to watch the VODs of NXL so that we would know what to do. So after the match against NXL, I just told my players to just rest because if I told them to study the VODs of X10, it would be exhausting for them
Yeah,
and they might not be mentally prepared for the game. So I
because it
just
was
we had,
same day, right? After
yes, yes,
NXL, you waited a few hours and then played X10.
yes.
Mm.
So we had a little time of rest, which is really difficult for us. It were if it happened when we were in in a boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it would be much better since the players could lay down and rest before the game.
Where did you guys play if it wasn't boot camp? Because I remember in the VCT, at least VCT Philippines, when we would see the cameras, you guys, the players would be right next to each other, fist bumping and all that. But
Yes.
where were the players for this time?
The players we were playing in a local internet cafe here in
How
so
come?
because our internet in the boot camp is not good and the PC is not it's also not good. It's just the minimum requirements for Valorant.
So if you guys were playing in the internet shop for the Philippine qualifiers, maybe your performance would have skyrocketed as well.
I think we would be like performing better if we just had a better facility and peripherals and specs for PC.
And because you guys were in an internet shop, how was the overall experience for you and the team? Because I'm sure maybe the feeling or the experience is different from the boot camp, and then this time it's no longer just PH teams, you're facing Southeast Asia teams. So overall, how was the experience? Kaya it wasn't a LAN experience.
For us, it was really tiring but worth it because the internet shop would take 15 to 30 minutes travel time from the bootcamp to the internet shop. So every after match or before match, we still have to travel. We still have to face traffic, the heat of the sun.
Yeah, Cebu is hot.
Yeah. So yeah, we had to face that challenge before we face another challenge.
And you guys played late? Was it late, your games against X10? If I recall, it was almost like dinner time already by 7 p.m.
Yes, actually, the internet shop closed, but we managed to ask the management to let us play, like exclusive for us in the closing time.
I mean, if you were the internet shop and you knew that you were not really sponsoring, but somewhat like sponsoring or helping out a Philippine representative for Southeast Asia, I think that's one of the biggest honors you can get as a computer shop.
Yes, but we were thankful for the internet shop though.
And then moving on, you guys were eliminated in the lower brackets against, if I recall, NXL.
FNS.
FNS.
Full sense.
Full sense. Yes. And then looking at the last official 5 games, the VCT Haven games of 6045 Pirates, VCT Philippines, and then the recent Southeast Asia Stage 2 Challenger Finals, you won 1 out of those 5 games. But I think that one win though is very important because that was one of the match wins against Hashra during Week 3 Finals. So that was actually the battle for the seed for the regional event. But is Haven one of your weaker maps? Because or did X10 and your lower bracket game were the teams that you were facing just extremely good at those maps, or was the team not really feeling it on Haven?
Honestly, I don't know if we have a weak map. The team just originally started last November 2020, which took us a little time for preparations and match like mapping and all. So all I had to do was to prepare the players for tournament pressure. Like I told them to join mini tournaments so that they could handle tournament pressures, and they could also know they could experience what like a tournament experience does to you. And then yes, we were prepared for map. The maps that we are prepared for is Icebox, Vine, and Ascent. These are the only 3 maps that we are prepared for. But unfortunately, we're banned because they know like we were prepared for these 3 maps, especially Icebox.
For the lower bracket games, was it who? I can't remember, but how was the map decided? Was it ban or was it a random pick, or was it already prepared for which map you guys going to play?
It is I ban 2 maps, then the full sense will pick the map that they will be playing.
Okay, so they really did pick the weaker map that you guys were playing on.
Yes, unfortunately.
But I think you did say you were more prepared for like Icebox, Ascent, and I think everyone can attest that you guys are good at Icebox because you went 13-1 in one of your games against X10, and X10 is the Stage 1 Regional Masters and the winners of the whole tournament. So the team was down 1 game with X10 getting the first map, and then they were on series point, and the Pirates brought out a really great game 2 on Icebox. What makes the team, or what made the team so strong on Icebox? What is it that you guys specifically prepared for in Icebox that made you do so well?
Just by keeping the morals of the boys players up. I just told them what no matter what happens, we have reached this far. So if we win this, it's a plus point for us. But if we lose, it's okay because no, it's a dream that it's really hard to achieve, but we achieved it now. So yeah, we won moral wise, we won, and communication wise, yes, we won.
Did you guys change up your playstyle on Icebox, or did you fine tune how you guys played? Because I noticed that you guys, on defense, the Pirates ran the very aggressive Sage Wall boost on A side. So is that something you as a coach prepared ahead, or was it just the team thinking of strategies and tactics to play?
Actually, we prepared that ahead of time, especially when times like this, like desperate times. We have to gamble. And fortunately, we had the upper hand. Just how would you say that? That we managed to take the win. And yeah, actually the strats are just the same. Just that the Sage Wool boost was just added in our list. So before we had the match in Icebox, I told the boys were not down. Actually, they were not down. They were like hyped up, like they were thirsty for a win. So yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened when we got 13. That's why we got 13-1.
And I noticed the Pirates are a very aggressive team. I think they're one of the teams that the playstyle, alam mo yung asim lang, yung playstyle. So was it also, how did you guys come about that playstyle? Did it just evolve as, you said you guys formed November 2020? So how did that evolution of playstyle come about? Did you play a part, or did the members just figure out the playstyle that they wanted to do?
So before that Asim playstyle happened, we just our strat before was just supporting Fire Saiyajin. That's why it was called Fire Saiyajin show. Yes, then the playstyle of Fire Saiyajin is really Asim, so they had to cope up. Like the players had to keep up with the Fire Saiyajin tactics. But now we had to make adjustments, which was really great. That's why it's not anymore the Fire Saiyajin show. Yes, it's the Pirate show now. So yeah, we had to make adjustments. We had to stop. We had to. It's my call to say if we have to ask him or not. Especially, it really depends on what team like we are going against. Yeah.
Who's the IGL of Pirates?
Nico.
Was there any player that had a hard time trying to keep up with how aggressive Fire Saiyajin was playing, or did everyone just easily adapt?
I think everyone easily adapt, but when we were trying to adjust our strats, I think the Fire Saiyajin was having a hard time adapting the new strats, like the slow strats. Yeah.
So Nico's also in charge of technically like controlling the aggression of Fire Saiyajin. So if Nico says to let's play slow this round, does Fire Saiyajin have to respect that call, or there are times that Fire Saiyajin is super confident that no, I think I can make this aggressive play?
I tell Nico about like if we have to aggressive or not. Then when Nico takes the shot call, there are times that Fire Saiyajin wouldn't listen, but it's like worth it. But there are times that it's round throwing situation. Yeah.
I see. And then moving on, so I don't know if you've noticed or the viewers may have noticed, but the esports scene in the Philippines is very volatile. So even if you've reached the regionals, even if you've reached the playoffs several times, Valorant is still a new game and esports is still small in the Philippines. So players get transferred from team to team, or even whole teams being dropped, like the SB Empire. After week 2, they were now looking for org. So is the team Pirates, are all the members or some of the members still going to pursue esports and try to maintain that presence of one of the top PH teams? Or are there other things planned for Pirates and its members, and also you as coach? Where are the Pirates headed?
Actually, we are still pursuing with the same roster and the same roster, but a secret new organization.
Okay, so that's one thing I think people should be excited about, and I think I'm just assuming. I think this decision as well to move to a different org is also about the facilities that you can get, because I think Pirates won also a good amount of prize from winning the seed and also participating in regionals, so that will help out for Pirates to get better equipment, or somehow help the scene grow.
Yes.
And then lastly, to end our interview, is there anything you'd like to share or to say to the viewers that support the team and supporters of 6045 Pirates? But of course, you might be moving orgs. So to your fans in general, what would you like to say?
So hi everyone. Thank you for this undying support. Thank you for keeping the ship float until we sank, unfortunately. So yeah, expect the unexpected this upcoming seasons, and we will be announcing a new org for us, probably. Yeah. Just please keep on supporting us. Thank you so much.
That was Coach Zyki of 6045 Pirates. If you like the interview and want to see more content like this, be sure to follow us on our different socials to keep you updated on anything new we bring up. Once again, I'm TheJoaquiGamer of KGC Esports.